At exactly 2:17 a.m., a voicemail was delivered to a phone that had been disconnected for months. The voice was calm, unhurried, and unmistakably familiar. It belonged to a man officially declared dead. Daniel Mercer had vanished 6 months earlier, leaving behind no body, no clues, and no explanation. The case was closed. His belongings were boxed. His name archived. But the voicemail didn't sound like a glitch. It sounded like a warning. And hidden inside those 14 seconds was a detail so specific. Only Daniel could have known it. Tonight, this is Shadowed Files. And this is the case of Daniel Mercer. Daniel Mercer was not reckless. He wasn't secretive. And he wasn't unpredictable. He was 34 years old, a software engineer, and deeply routine-oriented. Every weekday followed the same pattern. On March 14th, 2019, Daniel left his apartment at 7:42 a.m., a time confirmed by hallway security cameras. He locked the door, adjusted his jacket, checked his phone, and walked toward the elevator. That footage is the last confirmed sighting of him. Daniel never arrived at work. By early evening, calls went unanswered. Messages remained unread. His sister, uneasy, reported him missing at 6:31 p.m. Police initially treated the case as low risk. Adults disappear all the time. Until they entered his apartment, Daniel's phone was on the nightstand. His wallet lay on the kitchen counter. His keys were neatly placed by the door. His car had not moved. There were no signs of a struggle. Daniel hadn't left. He had simply stopped being there. Investigators searched Daniel's digital life, expecting to find something, anything, that hinted at where he'd gone. Instead, they found a folder buried deep in his computer. It was titled, "If I'm Gone." Inside were 5 audio recordings. In the first, Daniel's voice sounded controlled. "If someone is listening to this, it means I didn't imagine everything." He described subtle disturbances. His phone lighting up without notifications. Emails marked read before he opened them. A sense of being anticipated, like someone knew where he would be before he did. The second and third recordings grew more uneasy. Daniel spoke about noticing patterns. Not people following him, but something else. "It's not physical," he said. "It's positional." In the final recording, his voice dropped to a near whisper. "If I disappear, it won't be random. It'll be because I finally noticed them." Police dismissed the recordings as anxiety-driven paranoia. Daniel was declared legally dead 3 months later. The case file was closed. 6 months after Daniel's funeral, his sister received a voicemail notification from Daniel's number. The message was 14 seconds long. Daniel's voice said, "I figured it out. They can't follow if you don't acknowledge them. Don't answer." Phone records showed something impossible. The call did not originate from any registered device. It wasn't spoofed. It wasn't rerouted. It came from a decommissioned network node. Infrastructure shut down years earlier. The voicemail forced police to quietly reopen the case. But what unsettled investigators most wasn't the call itself. It was what Daniel said. The phrase "acknowledge them" appeared nowhere in the official investigation. Not in reports. Not in media coverage. Not in family interviews. Except once. In Daniel's private, handwritten journal. A journal police had never released. One sentence stood out. "I think they need to be noticed. Ignoring them feels safer." Daniel never defined who they were, but he described shadows. Not figures. Not silhouettes. Gaps. Areas where light should exist, but didn't. Always just outside direct focus. His final journal entry read, "If you're reading this, don't look for me. Looking is how it starts." Detective Aaron Holloway believed patterns mattered. He requested surveillance, metadata, not footage, but system logs. What he found disturbed him. In the weeks before Daniel vanished, hundreds of cameras across the city experienced brief distortions, milliseconds long, whenever Daniel passed through their range. Not full failures, just enough to blur detail. Always near Daniel, never anywhere else. Holloway pushed for expanded analysis. 2 days later, he was removed from the case. Before leaving, he emailed himself 4 words. "We're not alone in observation." Years later, a cold case analyst noticed something strange. The voicemail metadata contained timestamp drift. Though received months later, the system time read 2:17 a.m., March 14, 2019. The exact minute Daniel disappeared. The message wasn't delayed by technology. It was delayed by something else, as if it had been sent and waited. Daniel Mercer was never found. No remains, no digital trail, no explanation. But investigators quietly agree on one point. Daniel didn't vanish randomly. He noticed something, and whatever noticed him back doesn't like being acknowledged. Comment bait. If Daniel was right, if awareness draws attention, then the most disturbing question is this: by telling his story, did we just do exactly what he warned us not to?